WWE Monday Night Raw debuted on Netflix. Overall thoughts of the show. How did you think it went?
You know, like I've been pretty open with a lot of what I do in life. And for those of you that don't know, I'm a trained professional chef. I went to culinary school, did all that, right? So in cooking, most people don't. The tip that I got when I was started was you don't put a lot of complicated flavors together because you don't want to overpower it with flavors. You don't want to overpower it. You want one flavor to stand out and you want other flavors to complement it. There was nothing that stood out. It was a bunch of overlapping segments, and if you want to still use the cooking analogy, flavors that did not work well. You had Rock coming out. Cool, that's great. All right, final boss comes out.
No,
Like Taco
can
Kid.
I'm sorry. Can I correct you there? You didn't have The Rock coming out. You had Dwayne Johnson come out.
Oh yeah, you had Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, you're absolutely. You had Dwayne Johnson come out because it was a love fest. It definitely was a love fest. You had Dwayne Johnson come out. He comes out. He does his shtick. He does his Rochambeau. He kisses his children. Awesome. You hug a man that you wanted to beat the hell out of not less than like a year ago, and then you hugging him and say thank you for putting the company on your back, even though he should have added your storyline fucking sucks, but you're doing the best with what you got. No, he didn't say that. He, of course, couldn't say that. But you broke kayfabe. If anyone that follows this, he broke kayfabe completely. Then you have, don't get me wrong, John Cena, which I thought was a very decent promo from John Cena. But even with everything around, even that looked lackluster. You had a lackluster women's championship match. We all knew how it was going to go. You had a match between Jey Uso and the Scottish psychopath, which
Hey man,
and can we talk about the fact that Travis Scott was participating in the Devil's Lettuce on national TV?
I look. You know what? It's like that moment makes it like so full circle that I'm just like, you know what? I just give me Travis Scott like smoking a J, like in the arena. Just like, you
And it
know what?
wasn't like
I'll
he
forgive
just
everything
lit the J.
else.
The J had been lit.
Yep.
It been lit.
They don't
He
call
was
him
just sitting
Jay
like,
Uso for nothing, bro.
so I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, this is Netflix. This is definitely Netflix.
The
This is
Netflix
not
era,
USA.
baby. Yeah.
Did you hear when they was saying "fuck Solo"? They didn't censor it at all.
They did in some. Man.
It was,
It was a bit of a. It was a show. It was a show.
and then the match that we all wanted to see, that we all came to see, we all thought it was going to be the greatest match. It fell flat.
Oh, we disagree on that one. I love that match.
You, I thought it could be better. It wasn't the worst match. It by far wasn't the best match, but I thought it fell a little flat.
Yeah, we could talk about that match specifically in a little bit, but I mean, just
Because
I
it was certain things I thought they did really well, but there was certain things I thought, yeah,
I agree though generally with your thoughts. I think like my biggest problem with this show, there's a lot of problems with this show. There's the fact that you had The Rock coming out there like and doing this like out of character promo and glazing Netflix, glazing the sponsorships. Like first of all, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. As a fan, right? As someone, okay, as people who talk about it on a podcast or whatever, like there's certain aspects of the sponsorships that's important when you're talking about the business side of things. That's fine. As a fan, when I'm watching the show, I don't need WWE reminding me 50 million times that WWE is on Netflix and our partners Netflix, they're so great. Netflix.
Exactly.
I'm watching it. I'm on Netflix. We're all on fucking Netflix. We all know what's going on here. The entire world is watching this shit right now on Netflix. That's like, I don't need the constant glazing of Netflix. But I can forgive that. The two things, though, Trevor, I cannot forgive. The two things I will refuse to forgive. Number one, that segment with The Rock and Cody. We'll talk about it more in depth later, but
that was no.
I could deal with The Rock doing the whole, like, you know, Hollywood, Dwayne Johnson, like, out of character, this is a new era promo, whatever. I could deal with that. What I refuse to deal with is him being buddy-buddy with Cody Rhodes with zero explanation, and then me just being like, oh, well, it's not me having to be like, oh, it's not canon, ignore it. That's stupid to me.
Right.
That's
it's
stupid.
Dumb. It's dumb.
It is illogical, dumb booking. But what pisses me off and what I think is the crux of my problem with this entire show. What did we hear? Not just from other fans or other online accounts, but from WWE themselves in the build-up to this show, Trevor. We heard that this was going to be a WrestleMania PLE level event. Yep. And if I am judged, I'm not going to judge this by WrestleMania standards because that'd just be unfair. But if I judge this by a regular standard WWE PLE standard, I would have been pissed watching this show.
It felt like a jumbled mess. It felt like they put too much in one show.
Glorified,
and it fell flat.
Glorified, like Saudi, like house show. This felt like a Saudi show. Like I don't even watch those things anymore, but like this just felt like one of those. It felt like a glorified house show. And look, I will say this. I will give them this. Production on this show, spectacular. Like, no one does it better than WWE. Triple H being engulfed in flames or whatever and fireworks was awesome. Right. Like,
that was cool.
The video package, people can say, like, you know, about the kayfabe thing. I look at that.
I thought the video package was awesome. I love the video package.
I do too. And I think that kind of stuff is important because you're introducing the history. That's what it is. Like, I don't mind an intro, right? I don't mind a TV show having an intro that kind of explains it to an audience that may not be familiar, right? You got recaps on like Game of Thrones and all the other shows that like right before it plays. That's basically what I took that as. But my God, bro, like this, like production great. But
to me, the best thing about it,
the content was
Hogan getting booed. Hogan getting booed was one of the best things about it.
Well, dude, shout out to throw the ones up for the people in LA for that one.
I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, yo, are they booing him? And I'm like, they're booing it. And literally, if you have the subtitles on, it says booing. And I'm like, yes. And then literally booing him, and he's sitting there talking. I'm like, you gotta hurry this up, dude, because they're not gonna stop booing you. And like, to me, it was the best part. Screw that guy. Like, he deserved to get booed. A lot of my friends were asking though, why did he get booed and Undertaker did not? Now, I have a few caveats about that, but one thing was there were a few that did boo Undertaker. There weren't a lot of boos, but you kind of heard them a little bit. There were a few boos. But here's the thing, the difference between Undertaker and Hogan. One, Undertaker doesn't have a problem with black people.
well, here's the real crux that you're getting at. While Undertaker is MAGA as hell, has had Trump on his podcast, all that kind of stuff, you know. Well, all that notwithstanding, the biggest thing is Hulk Hogan is self-admittedly claims to be a racist. He literally said that, quote, I am a racist. He said this, Trevor. And I mean, among other things,
I missed. When did he say that?
What?
When did he say that?
In the videotape.
Yes. I know what you're talking about. Okay,
Yeah,
I do. I know what
when he
you're
was
talking about.
recorded by shout out to Bubba the Love Sponge. Which that whole situation is crazy. But like, I mean, and like, there's just like, we'll get into the Hulk Hogan thing in a little bit because I do want to focus on that separately. But I mean, overall, this show just felt like a mess. And like, my biggest thing is, and I hate to be this guy, Trevor, I really do. But if AEW did some of the stuff the WWE did on this show, the non-continuous booking, the ignoring history, ignoring storylines, a lot of people be chirping today. Chirping today. Those same people are not
All those
chirping.
marks, all those wonderful marks would be, oh, AEW is the worst. They've done this, they did that, blah, blah,
Close
blah.
the
Tony Khan
doors,
should not
baby.
be.
Close the doors.